Good evening, everybody. Hope you're all good tonight. So Bitcoin hit our target. As you can see, we had some liquidation levels up here, and we've had these prior to the price moving towards it. But these are liquidation levels that we put on the chart, knowing fine well that there's a high likelihood they will be hit. So the first one was hit. I released a video a couple of days ago just saying next target will be 87,000 for Bitcoin, but please buyer beware. And the reason why I was saying beware is because I knew the liquidation level, the price was close to it, so the next logical move was to make the move up to it, 87.5. And you can see it just landed straight into our liquidity level and moving back. And the reason why I was saying we just have to be a bit careful is because of this daily exchange volume here. As you can see, we're moving down on this right now. But if you look very closely, I don't want to put my mouse over it, because you can, it just moves up a little bit there from 36.2 to 36.4. Hopefully that will be the start of that rounding off and beginning to move up, because I think with the good news from the FOMC yesterday, we should start seeing this, because this is a 7-day moving average, so it might just take a couple of days to start rounding up, but hopefully we will start seeing that, because that would be in line with the good news. But when this is going down, there's no money in the exchange no money entering the exchange to back up volume, to prop up price, to push it up. So when price is moving up and volume is declining, we can't really trust to pump that well. So if price being close, I was saying it'll hit this liquidity level here and likely come up here to take this, but please be aware, because our volume is decreasing. And then we came up, we've hit it, and now we've had a rejection. So from here, where's the next step? So if we look on our liquidation map, we can see from this move down on the last 24 hours, the longs have been liquidated. So we've got some shorts up here, but there's no real, it's a billion short in the last 24 hours, which is decent, but there's no real major move. You can see there is some longs there, 1.7 to 1.2, but it's not a crazy difference. And you can see the spread here. The spread's very even as well, and even when I go in the 30-day, it's very, you can see up here, 2.5, 3 billion, the multiple spikes across the whole range, it's very dead in the middle. And what we need to see is a move from Bitcoin just to decide which level it's going to go, because we normally have a move if the market's trending, the market's going up, so we have a skew to one side. But even in a range, when Bitcoin's moving up and down, it's skewing to one side consistently. But right now, this moment of the day, we are just sitting there in the middle. So we are waiting for a move, I think, to come. And then from this move, I can see the extension on where price is, and then I'll be able to work out where price could go. But I'm blind right now, because this is showing us nothing. This is just drawing a circle and throwing a ball right in the middle of it. So I need to see some movement first. But if we look at the liquidation heat map, if I just go straight into, just say the last 48, let's go the last 24 hours here. You can see price came down, and we've got some liquidity up here. 88,000, around about 88,000, we've got 78 million. 88,000. So that's when people have gone short and they put their, this was 8.5. So people put their stop losses just above it, or the liquidation levels on the high leverage just above it. So that looks like this could be the next move, because there is nothing else. But this is just the last 24 hours. So let's have a look at the 3-day. The 3-day, we've also got some liquidity. 83,000 and 80,000. Again, similar volumes. It's very much there's no real liquidity either side on the weekly, and I don't think there'll be much on the 2 weekly either. So the moves have all been hit, the liquidations have all been done. Bitcoin needs to find which way it wants to go first. I mean, it's not often you see price just sitting spread in the middle across multiple time frames on liquidity, so it's a little bit unusual, but as it stands, we are above the trend line. I mean, this trend line is getting chopped up here. If anyone knows me, let me go on the weekly here. Sorry, if people have been watching the channel, I should really say, they know what my plan of attack is. We've got a trend line number 1, a steeper angle, trend line number 2, a steeper angle, trend line number 3, and I'm looking to put this 4th trend line, but I've got it to the side now. But what I want to potentially do is, I'll come back to that in 2 seconds. I just want to point out here, see how we found support on the RSI. This has been holding the bull market up. It bounces, we've come down, and it's bouncing again. This is a good sign. But if I look at this trend line now, I have seen more price action. This seems to me to be the low for this whole move down. So I like to connect the trend line to the low at the end of the move. So even though I've got 1, 2, 3 touch on this, if I actually take this trend line out, look at that. That looks 1, 2, price moves up higher, but it comes back and hits that. And that's that pivot there is very critical, especially because I think that's the low. So I may adjust this depending on how things go, but I think I'm going to keep it like this the now. Just for, if people have been watching my videos and they said, oh Johnny, well, why is the trend line move? What's going on here? I just, I'll only move these trend lines while I make these videos just to explain my thinking on how things are. And this is the trend line that we really want to see break. Once this trend line breaks, then we are going to be happy with how things are going. So in theory, sorry, let me just tighten this up. I'm going to leave this like that. And I really want to do is cut this angle in here, but I don't want to, the move's still in play right now. I don't want to murky the waters, so I'm just going to keep this probably like this. And that looks a nice fit. Maybe something like that. So we're just looking for this breakout, and as I've talked about before, guys, we are tracking the liquidity level offset on the 75, 77, which shows the move starting to play out. In fact, I might just take some horizontal lines in here just to say that's when the bottom should be in. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I don't like my charts too cloudy, too clogged up. Sorry. And we've got the 105 one, which is tracking this one very well since the ETFs have come in. So this will almost follow the move up. So if we see this and a fall down here, we know to track the 105 day offset instead. And if anyone doesn't know what the liquidity level is, these are just, I'll quickly go through it. It's essentially when all the central banks are injecting money, it's a total either side, if it's taking money out or injecting money in. And it takes a while to get through the system because at the central banks it injects it in, then it needs to filter through the banks, it needs to filter through the people, and it filters through the stocks. It takes a while to get in. So there's two theories. It's either a 77-day window or a 105-day window. and it's essentially like a big wave machine. The wave machine will push the wave of liquidity inject it into the economy, and just like, say, 20 meters in a wave machine, the wave will finally hit Bitcoin in 77 days or 105 days, depending on where it is. We're not sure yet, so we're tracking both. So that covers liquidity. It covers, we're just waiting for some Bitcoin to play a bit of a hand here. The cards are covered, so we need to see a bit more info before we can make a decision where price is going to go. Again, we're looking for this price to start curling up. It has a very slight curl starting. And to be fair, when it generally does curl, it generally starts moving up a wee bit further. So we'll see how things play out. One of the guys that subscribed, he was asking about the USDT dominance chart, and he says this is a really nice chart for him to follow, and I agree. I've got all my charts down here. So the USDT, I used to do this chart earlier on when I first started making the videos, and I was terrible at getting this right. So anyone who watched the first videos of me just getting tongue-tied in that one, then I've just done it again. So here we are. This is basically the main stablecoin, USDT dominance. The main stablecoin in the dollar. And what this represents is, essentially just see it as the dollar. Is money sitting in fiat currency, the dollar stable, not moving, or is it moving into crypto, Bitcoin? And the dominance will tell you that, because the higher the dominance is, the more money is sitting in fiat or the dollar as a percentage of the crypto market. So if you say the total crypto market's worth £100, and we've got 8% dominance, that means we've got £8 worth of dollars sitting there. But if we're saying the total market the total market cap's $100, but we've got 3% sitting, where did that 5% go? The 5%, it decreased from 8% to 3%, and that 5% disappeared into crypto. Because it can either be in crypto or it can be in stables. It has to be in one or the other. And it's always 100%. The market's always 100%. So if the stables are at a higher percentage, it means more money is in stable coins, fiats, the dollar. Or when it's less, it means more money is in crypto. That's the general rule of it. And if you can see, going all the way back to 2018, this tracks all the way up and does not break. So when this will eventually break, it will be a huge move. And it tracks all the highs and lows. It moves relatively well with the highs and lows, which is very good. Now, what we see here is we had a break of trend, and it was getting rather exciting. I remember being quite excited myself. But it was a double bottom, and it moved right up. But from there, you can see it's making a descending triangle. So a descending triangle is when it's got a flat bottom and an angled top. And this is, it's basically pushing price down, pushing price down, pushing price down, and it's just a floor that eventually gets crushed. And it's pushing price down, and the floor just gives in. It's a bearish pattern. It breaks down a higher majority of the time than it breaks up. So we have at the top of this trend line a huge yearly bearish pattern developing, and we have weekly bearish divergence developing. So this is a high and a lower high, and the weekly divergence is a low and a higher low. And when these two are divergent, if it's at the top, it's bearish, and if it's at the bottom, it's bullish. So there's some signs here, major signs of a huge bearish pattern with weekly bearish divergence, making it lower highs, coming into a huge trend line that supported the market this entire time. And now, if this breaks, let's just take, have you ever seen a trend line break? You know exactly what it looks like. So this could potentially be a huge move. And all this money will rotate into crypto, Bitcoin, altcoins, and all this stable fiat currency just be flushing into it, pushing the price all the way up. And then round about here, when all the money, all the stable coins have rotated into Bitcoin and crypto, this is where the top will be. And then when price moves all the way back up again, this will be where the bottom will form, because at the bottom, everyone will have their money in stable coins because they're scared and it's too risky to have it in the crypto. So I just wanted to give you a wee bit of analysis there, an extra chart. If you like seeing these extra charts or this extra information, I normally just cover Bitcoin, and I normally just cover the liquidation levels, etc. like that. Because I try and keep the videos maybe 10 to 15 minutes. I don't know how long this is, but if you like to see more of this or you like longer videos, just let us know in the comments. Give us a like. If you haven't subscribed, hit subscribe. It's quite bad because obviously not long started the channel, but I'm getting a lot of subscribers coming in. The videos are getting bigger and bigger, more views and more views, which is brilliant. But it's just funny just seeing the different countries from everywhere. There's people from all over the world watching these videos. It's very very humbling. Had I think it was 0.5% of my videos are subtitled into Thai. So even that is crazy. So shout out to Thailand. Anyway, guys, if you like this, I put these videos out every single day around about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock UK time. So if you get anything from them, please like and subscribe, and I'll be here again same time tomorrow. Cheers, guys. Bye.